In this video, we're going to be going over the New York State Board of Law Examiners website. The purpose of going over their website is to show you some helpful pages found on their site. So if you're preparing to take the New York UBE, this is something you want to be familiar with. So first things first, to get to this website, you can simply Google the New York State Board of Law Examiners, and it'll take you right to this page. So this is their homepage, which you'll see here. And this is an important page. And the reason I wanted to point this page out is because it includes any notices that the board has put together and wants to bring to your attention. So for instance, you can see that there is a notice new as of December 23rd, 2020, and it's discussing the February 2021 bar examination. And you can see, if you continue to scroll here, all of the other notices or announcements that they have made. The other thing that's helpful about this homepage here is this is where you can also find bar exam results when they are released. So for instance, if you take a look at the third announcement on this page, there is a link that says a list of the passing candidates is available here. So if you were awaiting results or you found out that they were available, you could check it out on this homepage. So this is the first page you want to be familiar with if you're preparing to take the New York bar. The other page I want to bring to your attention is on the left-hand side here, and this contains some FAQs. I like this page. I think it's helpful because if you're maybe not super familiar with all of the specifics for the New York bar exam and its additional requirements to get licensed here in the state of New York, you can get that information here. And it's in the form of those frequently asked questions, which is really nice because I'm assuming if you have a question, it's probably a question someone else has already had and asked, and the answer is here. So for instance, I'm just scrolling down the page. It talks about passing scores. It talks about the additional admission requirements as well. So in New York, there are additional requirements other than just getting that passing score on the UBE, and you can see them all listed here. So again, the FAQ site, or tab, I should say, is really helpful. And again, you can find that on the left-hand side here. The other tab that I want to bring to your attention is your bar exam information tab. And here, there's actually not much on the landing page other than another link that's going to take you to a PDF. And what you'll find in this PDF is a lot of information also contained on the FAQ page. But in my opinion, it's just organized a little bit differently. It contains additional information not on the FAQ page. And if you are applying for the bar or you're considering applying for the bar in this place or going through the process in New York, this is definitely a PDF you want to be familiar with. It discusses everything from your application, the deadlines, the fees, eligibility requirements, test center locations, everything. If you need to change your address, security policy. So again, this is something that you probably won't need super frequently, but it's good to know where to find it so that if you do ever have any questions, you can know where to look. So again, that is the bar exam information tab. Now, the other thing that I want to point out is I briefly mentioned that there are additional licensing requirements in the state of New York. In other words, it's not just enough to get that passing score on the UBE. So here, there's this link on the left-hand side. It's labeled NYLC/NYLE, Course Access and Materials. If you click it, it walks you through these additional requirements and how to get to these other resources. So you need to take the New York Law course. There's course materials that are linked here. There's sample New York Law exam questions, which you'll be responsible for taking once you complete the New York Law course. So again, this page is super helpful because you'll need to also fulfill these requirements as well. And then something else, two more links I think are super helpful. Further down the page is a link that says past bar exam questions and answers. So even if you're not taking the New York UBE, but you're going to take the uniform bar exam generally, you might still find this page helpful because the New York State Board of Law Examiners posts exam questions as well as sample candidate answers going back a few bar exam administrations. So here you can see it hasn't been updated since February 2020, but it also contains the administrations going back to July 2016. So there's a healthy amount of questions here if you were looking for study materials. The other thing that's really great is that they post good or representative good student answers. So if you were wondering, what would someone write in response to a question under exam-like conditions that is high scoring, this is a good place to come for that example. So they'll give you the questions, for instance. They list all of them. In the February 2020 bar exam, it was a normal bar, so there were 6 essays. So I'm just kind of scrolling through them. And if you keep going, it tells you that there is then this sample essay answers. It gives you a little bit of a disclaimer here that these are not model answers. So in other words, they might not be perfect, but they are good responses. So it's nice. You can check these out if you're interested to see what a high scoring or a good representative answer looks like. So again, that was the link for past bar exam questions and answers. Finally, 2 more links to show you here are past bar exam results. So they have a lot of links here. You can look at results going all the way back to the July 2008 bar exam. If you were curious, you just click your applicable link and you can look up who passed. So this is a good place to come, I don't know, if you were curious to look someone up or if you were looking up your own bar exam results. Remember, those will also be on the homepage. And then finally, they also link you to the National Conference of Bar Examiners. Here they link you to their study aid store. So if you were looking for study aids for the UBE or even for the MPRE, it would take you to the National Conference of Bar Examiners website. So just taking you back here, there's a lot more you can discover on the New York State Board of Law Examiners website, but in my opinion, those are the most helpful tabs. Again, I think there are some great resources here because they provide you with some past questions and good student answers. So if you're getting ready to take the New York UBE or just the UBE, this is a website you likely want to be familiar with.